Yeah. Okay, so basically, look, I wanted to see how good the supposed legend of debating was. And the way I do this is specifically watching his debates, right? That's obviously the best way to tell how good somebody is. So, again, today, quite literally, all I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be watching Trini versus Seth debate on meta ethics and seeing how competent they are. And if they aren't competent, like, obviously, Noodles isn't competent. So, really, Noodles can't really get much worse than he is. But, yeah. Also, to be clear, if they misdefine words, that's also a point against Trini, so yeah.
Subjectivism, you're taking the stance of moral objectivism, correct?
Yep.
You want to clarify exactly what you mean by moral objectivism?
Yeah, I think we can report facts through the field of ethics.
And he's already wrong. Like, wait, hold the phone. He's already wrong. That's cognitivism, right? Like, the view in which we can report facts through moral statements, that's just cognitivism. Right. If I say, for example, that I have a preference towards X or I do not have a preference towards X, that's obviously a proposition. There's obviously a true statement that can be made about it. So clearly, and it's quite trivial as well, that that statement can be true or false. So again, just because we can report facts about like moral statement or through moral statements does not suddenly mean that subjectivism is false. Nor does it even prove moral realism or even prove moral objectivism.
Report true statements through the field of ethics.
Okay, so would you say that there are some foundational beliefs within ethics, like some moral beliefs that are true?
Well, obviously, that's his view. Okay.
Well, you already know what the realm of possibility is. Yes, correct.
Yep.
Okay. Well, the realm of possibility is not limited by anything. Correct.
Huh?
Which type of possibility?
Well, anything is a possibility, right?
Oh my god, no. He asked him which type of possibility. So I assume he's asking him what modality is the statement indexed to. And then he just says everything is possible. And it's like, okay, if you're talking about nomological, for example, then you could say that not everything is possible because there can be some set like claim that violates a set law of physics that exists within the world. Therefore, it's nomologically impossible. Or you could say that it's epistemologically like, or whatever Trini says, mentions it later on in the debate, but he says like, oh yeah, there's epistemic possibility, right? Like trivially, things can be impossible if you're indexing it to what you know or something. So yeah, that's just another blunder from both of their parts, actually. I don't know why Trini is impressing this.
Infinite amount of realities that hold infinite possibilities within them. That's just how we have to accept it.
What's the justification for that claim?
Well, see, we don't have any way to verify anything exterior to our mind, so we're...
Just because, oh my god. Look, just because we can't verify, like, okay, let's grant Trini, like, Noodle's argument that you can't, like, you can't determine whether or not something is true or external to your mind. Say he's an epistemic skeptic. I'm confused. How does that prove everything is possible? Like, you could say that unless a proposition violates the laws of logic, then it is impossible. But if it does not do that, then quite literally anything can be logically possible. You can say something like that. But the way he's using it and the way he's arguing is like just completely nonsensical.
We're basically limited by our minds, but we don't actually know what exists outside of our minds, so we can't specifically limit it to anything. So what that would generate is a solution set that is completely unlimited, which would generate an infinite set.
What? He just opened his mouth and made noise there, I'm never gonna lie. I don't even think I need to explain why that's really stupid. But I'm not really here to listen to his arguments, I'm here to listen to how Trini responds, so...
So wait a second. Your argument is because there are things possibly outside of our minds, they can be shaped in any particular way?
I'm arguing our epistemology is limited, but the idea is that these possibilities exist regardless. And we also have no way to verify it within our epistemology as well, but both ways.
So hold on a second. So I just want to go back to this. The argument is we cannot go outside of our minds, therefore there's any possibility. Is that your argument?
Yeah.
Okay, so how would you syllogize that? Would it be like premise one, if we cannot go outside, then...
No, he's asking it for the formal argument. Look, would it just be, at least I assume Noodles knows what modus ponens and modus tollens is. It's like, if we do not have access to anything outside of our mind, then everything is possible. We do not have access to anything outside of your mind, therefore anything is possible.
And there's any type of possibility.
I'm not going to put it into a syllogism, but the argument is there. If you want to do it, you can.
Sure. So that'll be it. It's just a simple modus ponens. What's the justification for the first premise? If we cannot go outside, then there's any type of possibility.
Well, have you ever gone outside of your consciousness?
I don't know. Have I?
What?
I'm asking you. I haven't. So I'm
wait, what? What was that exchange? Have you ever gone outside of your mind? I don't know. Have I? Like, the answer is no. The answer is no. Like, you haven't. Okay. Like, let's put the fries in the bag.
That's not the case.
Well, if you're saying that there's any type of possibility, right? I can't actually answer that question because I could just be incorrect now.
You could potentially be incorrect, but you also could be potentially correct, and that's the idea. There's a possibility.
What? Wait, is it possible for me? I mean, if you think that you are your mind or you think you are your brain, then to say something like you're able to go outside of your brain would be implying that you and your brain are like distinct in some sense. So you could just say that's impossible for them to be distinct since they're literally the same thing. But I don't know, like maybe they're using some weird account of personal identity. Who knows? Who cares even?
Of a possibility. And because of
the
that
possibility of a possibility,
no
powerful.
Derive objective standards for anything. So
what? No, hold the phone. Just because something is possible doesn't mean you can't derive an objective stand or like something objective out of it. Like, it's mind independently true. Like, even under Noodles' view, it's mind independently true that everything is possible. So if it's mind independently true that everything is possible, even without, like, under Noodles' view at least, even without me going outside of my mind, or even without me leaving my mind, for example, whatever weird phrasing he used, like, I can still know at least one thing that's objectively true. I can also know that I exist. So yeah, I don't know what he's talking about.
So if we can't derive objective standards for anything, then it'd also be impossible to derive an objective standard for ethics.
Wait,
hold on a second. So
is he saying can't as if that's like, is that a modal term? Is he saying that's logically impossible? Because if he is, then I hope there's an argument for it. But the second statement he made about how if we can't verify anything objectively true, or any standard to be objectively true or something, whatever he was saying, and therefore we can't verify morality objectively. I think that was the wording he used. It's like, okay, maybe, fair enough. Oh no.
Let's stick.
It doesn't require the actual proof of an existence.
I can't actually answer that question because I could just be incorrect now.
You could potentially be incorrect, but you just be limited. The outside of our minds are not limited because in order to place a limitation on it, you would have to make a claim upon it. But we can't make a claim upon things outside of our own.
Wait. Is he saying that things outside of our mind aren't limited? But he's also trying to argue we can't verify anything existing outside of our mind. So is he trying to say that there's this thing which is unverifiable that isn't limited, even though we have no clue what it is or we can't verify its existence at all? Is that the argument he's making? That's one. And then two, I still don't understand how Noodles didn't point out the obvious blunder that Trini made at the start. Because if that's Trini's view, Trini also has to concede that subjectivism is true. Because trivially, you can report true statements about propositions which are mind dependent, right? Or the truth maker is mind dependent, I should say. Right? Like,
on mine.
Outside of our minds are not limited. Okay.
Yeah, because we don't know what's out there, right? Like, I can't say aliens don't exist, right? Just because we don't have evidence of it. There's potential for aliens to exist. We don't know if they're there, but there is potential to be there. So I can't say they exist, and I can't say they don't exist. I have to remain agnostic about it to remain logically consistent. So I'm going to do that in this situation as well. I have no idea what's outside of my mind. There's potential for things to be objective outside of my mind. There's potential for things not to be objective outside of my mind. So I'm going to be taking the stance that there is a possibility that there is objective morals, but we cannot confirm that. So I don't believe in objective morality necessarily. I don't deny it, but I don't believe in it.
Wait, what's the argument for his view? I'm confused now. Wait, okay. Hopefully, Noodles gives an argument, but like for his view specifically, not to say that he hasn't given an argument, but specifically, if his sort of view is that we can't verify anything existing outside of our mind, therefore, this, and that, the third. I wonder. How would he even argue, like, if Trini just asks him, how can we verify anything outside of the fact that we exist? Like, how would he actually, how do he respond? I doubt that he has a coherent response, seeing as both of them are really bad, but I just want to know how he'd react.
Okay. 1 second. So, firstly, one of the things you just said was that the outside of our minds is not limited. What's the proof that there's an outside of our minds?
What's the proof that there's an outside of our minds? Well,
yeah, what's the proof of the...
Wait, but he's trying to argue for more realism. Wait, if he's trying to argue for more realism, he'd have to say that there's some mind-independent fact or mind-independent truth maker of all our moral claims. So, if he's going to deny or be agnostic on things existing outside of his mind, then he'd also have to concede his more realist view. He now no longer has any foundation for his view. Like, I'm confused.
The external world.
Well, you would have to take the stance that your inside of your mind is the only way, or is the only reality, right?
Huh?
That would be the stance, that this is our only reality that exists.
What? Didn't he just say that since everything is possible, there's an infinite amount of realities? Like maybe I misheard him, but he just said that. So, look, I don't understand. One, it's like, this is really low level. I'd expect something like this from Free to Go. I'd expect something like this. I was about to say Smoothie, but no, I wouldn't even expect this from Smoothie. I'd expect this from someone like Senju, right? So it's like, wow. This is really bad.
And within your mind, right? And you say, yeah, you can be agnostic about it. Sure, that works too. So if you're sitting there and you're like, all right, my reality is the only true reality, right? Or if my reality is a reality, move outside of that. Right?
Wait, hold the phone. I pressed the pause button by accident, but now I'm confused. What does he mean when he says true reality? Does he think reality is a proposition? Like, reality, true or false? Someone answer that question for £20. Reality, true or false? But yeah.
And there is a potential or a possibility of the possibility that there's another world, right? Even if we can't confirm or deny that within our own mind. Well, you can't actually confirm that within your mind. You can confirm that there's a possibility that there's another reality within your own mind. And you have to accept that possibility. That's where the possibility of a possibility comes in.
Wait, hold on a second.
It's possible something is possible.
There's something outside
Powerful.
our minds? What's the proof of the external world? You tell me there's a possibility of something outside our mind, right? But that doesn't really seem to clarify, right? Even if I accept the modality of this for just a moment, that doesn't tell me this is actually possible.
Wait. Noodles didn't even mention any modality specifically. He could be saying something like, yeah, everything is possible. At least to my epistolic, at least to the amount of knowledge I have, right? Everything is possible. He could be indexing it to his knowledge. He could be saying everything is like possible because of like based off of what he knows. He could be saying a whole bunch of stuff. To say that or to assume the sort of modality he's arguing just seems really weird.
If we're accepting logical possibility as our standard of possibility now. So what's the proof that there's something actually outside of our minds?
I'm not obligated. My stance doesn't require the actual proof of an existence outside of our mind. My stance does require the proof of a possibility outside of our minds, and as you admitted, it's logically possible. So the idea is that this is a possibility of a possibility, and that second possibility is the idea that objective or morals aren't objective or are objective, right? That's we don't know. So.
Well, what kind of possibility? So if you want, we can use logical possibility, and then we can profile that, right? Or we can use like nomological possibility. We can use epistemic possibility. Well, there are a few differences. So I mean, like the easiest one to just
is we can use that one.
Okay. Well, then if we're talking about logical possibility, right? Then we would just confine it to, at the very least, the law of identity. You just agree with the law of...
What? Whoa, like, are we going to ignore the other two laws of logic? Like, what? Why are we ignoring the other two? Like, hello? Typically, whenever we say something is logically possible, all we're saying is just that it is not in violation of the three laws of logic. Why are we ignoring the other two? This seems a bit like segregation. Like, what's going on?
Of non-contradiction?
Huh?
Do you disagree with the law of non-contradiction?
Logical
We
possibility.
agree on the law of identity, right?
What? A equals A? What about it?
You agree is this is part of a lot, like the most foundational logical principle, right?
That's
If we were to
basically
characterize
using
what
all-
logic is.
That's basically
Sure.
used in all logical principles. The law of non-contradiction is not really used in like pair consistent, and excluded middle is not used in fuzzy. So I mean, we can just use the law of identity, for
He
example.
doesn't know what
Okay, so what would be
fuzzy
the proof
logic
for,
is.
like, epistemologically denying or rejecting or dismissing or neglecting the law of non-contradiction. Why would we do that?
But
I'm
you,
not obligated to do that. That's not even within this debate right now.
Wait, hold on a second. So we moved through a few things, right? We're trying to discuss possibility so we can discuss which things to rule and not rule out. If you're going with like the broadest interpretation of possibility, sure, right? But then I'm going to question you on like your broadest interpretation of possibility, and there are a lot of problems that come up.
What
with
would you
that. But
say
if
my
we're,
broadest interpretation is?
it's just called epistemic possibility for all we know.
huh?
Okay, well, can we define what you exactly mean by epistemic possibility?
Epistemic possibility is merely saying that any proposition we would offer would be subject to a level of skepticism given the fact that we can wrong intuitively
fair.
and
No, wait. Okay, I accidentally paused the recording by accident, so I'm gonna go back so everyone can hear that.
subject to ability is merely saying
Exactly mean by epistemic possibility?
epistemic possibility is merely saying that any proposition we would offer would be subject to a level of skepticism given the fact that we could totally be wrong intuitively and about our logical principles.
Okay. That's what that means. And for all of the people who, like, in fact, maybe I'm an idiot, right? Maybe I'm not tracking. So give me a second. Let's go to a trip down memory lane. Epistemic modality. Epistemic modality is a kind of necessity and possibility that is determined by epistemic constraints. A modal claim is a claim about how things could be or must be given some given constraints, such as the rules of logic, moral obligations, or laws of nature. A modal claim is epistemic when the constraints are epistemic in nature, meaning roughly that they are related to knowledge, justification, or rationality. So, where in the world did Trini get that definition? Where in the world? You know what? I will pay the first person who can find me where exactly he got that definition. Like, he could have gone there from the SCP. He didn't get it from the IEP. So, again, like, where would he have gotten it? Like, I'm so confused.
That's what you're describing.
Yeah. So, do you
That's
just...
not Kant.
Yeah, it is.
No, Kant believes in necessary experiences. What are you talking about?
Why are they talking about Kant? Why? Why are they talking about Kant? Like, why? No, like, okay, Trini, you're wrong, but like, why are you talking about Kant?
Well, whatever. We won't get in that discussion right now. I would argue with that, but
Yeah, man, that's him.
Wait, one
No, that's
you don't
Michael
think that
Humer.
Kant believes in like
Nah.
No, that's big Michael Humer, man. Yeah. Like, why are you arguing about which philosopher made which term when you're defining the term wrongly in the first place? Also, I think he's saying Hume came up with epistemic skepticism, right? But that has nothing to do with epistemic possibility, right? Like, I think maybe he's getting epistemic skepticism and epistemic possibility confused, and I don't even know if he defined epistemic skepticism right. Like, whoa.
the necessity of spatiotemporality.
No, sir.
Well, it's not really a derail. It's just me asking you about a couple
It
of
is.
things. I mean, you made a few statements, and so I'm just clarifying.
It was
Let's
an
move
irrelevant
back, right?
statement on my part, yeah.
Okay. So
Oh, we know.
I disagree with that the empirical, or not empirical, the
the
epistemology.
epistemic possibility.
Yeah.
You disagree?
I see no
with
reason
that?
to accept it.
Okay, well, why?
I haven't been given any compelling reason so far.
In modality.
Deny it as well.
My God.
Nope, I'm just agnostic on that in particular.
Okay. Well, then you would also be accepting.
Wait, what is he agnostic to? Wait, is he agnostic to epistemic skepticism? I'm confused. Like, what? Because I don't know if he knows, but like you're like, at least in the typical sense, you can't be like, yeah. Is he being okay? Wait, maybe he stunlocked me. Is he being agnostic to a skeptic? So if a skeptic is like, oh yeah, I don't know if this is true, right? And we generally don't know if this is true. Is he being skeptic as to whether or not we don't know it or not? Right? Because I guess that's fine. But if he's being agnostic on skepticism itself, and he's saying that skeptics typically they're making like a positive affirmation, then he's just trivially wrong, right? Like, or like in the usual sense, typically a skeptic is either just saying like we can't know this given fact or something like that, something along those lines. But it's like, what in the world is Trini talking about? Like, not only is this really low level, but also it just doesn't seem as if he knows what he's talking about. I've seen him like in his debate with Nathan Sweden. I've seen him in all of his other debates. And he doesn't really know what he's talking about. Like, I don't understand. It's a bit weird.
The possibility, that epistemic possibility is correct, right? Like, that's a possibility.
Chat, what the Sigma?
Wait, how would I be doing that?
Well, if you're not actively denying it, you're not actively accepting it, then I'm asking you if you're taking into consideration the possibility that it is correct.
Yeah, he's taking epistemic possibility into possibility, man. That's tough. That's tough, man. It's logically possible that epistemic possibility is possible. Man, how hasn't any philosopher thought of this, man? Like, what in the world? Jeez Louise. Like, does he... Oh, my God. Like, I don't... Oh, my God, man. He's begging it. He's just begging it at this point. But, yeah, we proceed.
Hello.
Hold on a second. So, do you actively deny Ilplut?
I don't know what that is.
Are you agnostic on that?
I don't know what that is.
Well, can you tell me if you disagree, you agree, or if you're agnostic?
Well, I don't know what it is, so I can't really tell you if I agree, disagree, or am agnostic.
Yeah, and that's the point, right? I'm not exactly sure what
You at least maybe I'm confused, but I don't think you can be agnostic on things that aren't propositions. Like, typically whenever people are saying they're agnostic, typically they're saying that, oh, well, I'm unclear and I'm uncertain about this given proposition, be it like God exists, cats exist, dogs exist, this claim is true, that claim is true. But if I say something like rock and somebody says they're agnostic, it's like, okay, what are you being agnostic about? And then maybe they could be trying to convey the fact that they're agnostic towards a certain proposition that they feel as if you're making about a rock, right? But simply the statement rock in and of itself, I don't know how, or if I utter the words rock, I don't know what it would mean for somebody to be agnostic to that. Like, maybe I'm philosophically incompetent, I should listen to the big dogs like Trini, but hey.
epistemic possibility might look like. You're not sure what Ilplut might mean, what exactly that entails. So yeah, like, again.
But didn't he just describe epistemic? Okay, well, no, he didn't just describe it, but he described what he thought epistemic possibility was. So if he just described what he thought epistemic possibility was, then he does know what it is. He does know, like, I'm assuming he'd also know the entailments of the view, right? So, like, it doesn't, the analogy doesn't work, but Noodles also just isn't really that smart, so I don't even think he'd point it out. And again, this typically falls back into the same line of reasoning that I see every other Trini Glazer I see randomly just say, it's like, oh my God, you don't know how good Prime Trini was. And then when you ask him, oh yeah, well, look at all of these recordings, he did really bad in all of these recordings. So I think I'm pretty justified in thinking that this guy is bad. And it's like, and then he becomes really confused. Like, look at this. It's like, oh, Trini's the GOAT. And then I was like, your brain failed to comprehend this, okay. And then he didn't, like, okay, this guy's obviously confused, right? Like, this guy's obviously confused. And, like, this guy's also confused because Trini's also confused as well, right? So, I don't know why Trini debates ethics either.
Wait, well, do you agree that Ilplut is a possibility?
I agree that anything is a possibility. But
so Ilplut is a possibility?
Rock. Yeah. Possible or impossible? Again, £20 for the first person who can answer that question. Possible or impossible rock? But yeah, we'll proceed.
Yes, I agree that anything is a possibility.
Okay, cool. So then is it possible that you've just misinterpreted this entire conversation? You don't actually have a reason to believe in epistemic possibility?
It is a possibility. It's also possible that you're completely misinterpreting everything that's happening.
Of course. So then if
I'm gonna go to the more interesting parts of the conversation. I'm never gonna lie. Like, this is boring.
Realize you fucked up. So what we're gonna do?
Okay, sure. Hold on a second. What's the answer to that question? Why are you dodging?
Repeat the question. Well, I'm trying to move back to something you're trying to cover up. That's why I'm not answering it directly.
I literally asked you the question before you spoke.
No, you didn't. You answered it.
Wait,
after.
I didn't.
Wow.
Okay, sure. So
Trinity linear.
Answer my question.
Oh.
What about moral objectivism? What about moral objectivism affirms that it's logically necessary for me to say that it's certain?
Huh?
Okay, so moral objectivism is the idea that morals are completely certain. We have a foundation.
Oh my god! Oh my god! No, all it states is that there's some, like, at least all is like the base level you should get from it is that one, moral statements are propositional, and two, the truth maker for moral propositions is mind independent. There's probably another like theses that I'm missing, but that's all that's relevant to the conversation right now, right? So it's like, okay, what part of that does it state that it has to be certain? Like, you can be uncertain as to whether or not what's it called? Oh no, so wait, it's like moral statements are propositional. Moral statements, like the truth maker for moral statements stands independent, and I'm pretty sure the distinction between them and error theories, like error theorists just deny that there is an actual truth maker, whereas moral realists affirm that there is a truth maker. So it's like not a single part of that does they actually like do they actually affirm anything like, oh yeah, it's certain, we must certainly know like whether or not so like a moral statement is true or false. It's like, no, we don't need to certainly know that. All we need to know is that the statement is true or not, right? And like, you could say it's probably true, right? That's typically what people are saying whenever they're saying something is true or false, right? They probably aren't saying something like, oh, this thing 100% aligns with my theory of truth. Instead, they're probably saying that this thing has a high likelihood based off of the evidence to align with my theory of truth. Like, I don't think many people would doubt the fact that they could be wrong about everything, right? So again, it's just like, I don't know what sort of argument Noodles is making here, right? Like, I'm really confused, but yeah.
Or amoral.
What's the proof of that claim? What's the proof of that claim?
Here, we'll look up what moral objectivism is.
It's realism. Okay, he's arguing for. Okay.
Moral objectivism, the view that what is right or wrong doesn't depend on what anyone thinks is right or wrong. That is the view that the moral facts are likely physical facts.
Huh?
So a fact.
He just added that part in. You can be a more realist. Okay, one, you can be a more realist and you can also be a non-naturalist, right? So you can believe that there are these like non-physical, non-natural, I should say, fact, like truth makers for moral claims, right? It doesn't have to correspond with some natural fact. That's one. And then two, just because something is a fact, right? Like, Noodle's own view also affirms that there are moral facts. They're just mind independent. So, like, trying to deny that we can even verify the existence of facts in the first place goes against his own position as well. But again, because neither of them know how to properly define their views, they're like confused. But yeah, like, I don't know what this is. I'll probably make another continuation video of this later on. It just goes to show that the sort of people who are being looked up to for being really intelligent really don't know what they're talking about. Like, what was Trini's definition for most of the terms he used in the debate were really garbage, right? He was asking like why he can't be agnostic towards something that clearly isn't propositional, saying that like term epistemic modality clearly isn't a proposition, right? Like, it's literally I don't, like, we already saw how the IEP defined that. So again, I don't know like how people look up to these guys, but maybe I came with the intention of being proven wrong. I hoped to see Trini prove me wrong, right, about his supposed GOAT status. He was going to prove to me that, oh, he's actually the GOAT through his debate with Noodles. But unfortunately, I was in fact not proven wrong, meaning that as the always right entity that I am, I am right again. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you like the video, please remember to like and subscribe. I'll be making another video about this, probably, maybe if I find time to. But it's like, trivially, Trini and Noodles are very confused about meta-ethics, right? Like, one of them can't define their view. The other one doesn't even know, like, he searches it up in the middle of the conversation and still, like, argues improperly because he doesn't even know the entailments of his own view, right? So, it's like, yeah. I don't really know where they could go from there. But yeah, that's it for the video. This has been, wow, this has been Shinra, and I'm out.